Hi Virgo, thank you so much for joining me. I've got a mid-January reading for you. Do remember, 15 minutes additional to all readings booked between now and the 1st of February, so head over to the website to book a reading there. Mercury goes into retrograde as of the 14th of January, woohoo! There is dual lessons with this one because it starts off in the sign of Aquarius and it goes into the sign of Capricorn. Venus is also retrograding, and these are two natal planets that don't often go into retrograde at the same time. So this is inevitably going to have a bit of an effect on our perspective, perhaps even on our mood. So do remind yourself to be extra nice to yourself and take extra good care of yourself during this period. I think it's a good idea to think back to last year, January the 30th, all the way through to February the 19th, when Mercury retrograded in the sign of Aquarius the first time around, and whatever themes and lessons would have come up then, you've got, there's a possibility that they'll come around again around this time, but the thing is, you've got this upper hand of being able to handle it from a more developed point of view. Take an objective look at that period last year, what it is that you could have done better, and if the situation presents itself this time around, what you can do to handle the situation better should it arise. There's also this Venus retrograde influence here, so it's with Mercury retrograding in Aquarius at the moment and Venus retrograding at the moment, it's a really good idea to think about how we can do things differently outside of the bubble in relationships. The lessons you've already learned, the experiences you've already gained, but the vast, bigger picture, right? In the bigger picture perspective, what is it that you can do better in regards to communication in relationships? This can be all sorts of relationships. This can also be finances. This is your abundance, your personal self-belief, the beauty that you see within yourself that's currently in retrograde, which is of course going to test a lot of self-worth and bring up things where I think it's probably important for you to tackle the matter at hand, Virgo, with your wholehearted attention. If you look back, you run a risk of really missing the point of the experience of the moment. Be grateful for what you have in your hands, and be satisfied with your lot. I think there's a lesson of gratitude mid-January, and it is all about bringing the attention back to yourself. If your attention has been other places, I feel like this January, mid-January, it's going to be really important for you to bring your attention all the way back. The Nine of Swords, the King of Cups, the High Priestess, and the Five of Wands. So, Virgo, Mercury retrograde can inevitably bring up this kind of immediate trigger where things from the past might come up again. This might even be ghosts from the past, people from the relationships, etc. I think being objective about your energy right now, taking your time to work through triggers and traumas, just because we're at the 9 here, and as it goes into the 10, it's the rebirth. 9 for me is a number of completion, and the way that card just flew out of my hand as I was talking about completion, it's almost time for you to throw these worries and doubts and fears away, Virgo. That was very clear. You saw that. It's time to throw them away. I feel like they're irrelevant at this point. I do feel like they're holding you back. And so whatever it is that is kind of keeping you up at night or holding you in a place where it is just time for you to address each and every one of those swords, traumas, triggers, internal boogeymen. it's time to clean up. Intellectually, emotionally, clear up some space in your head. And I do think that, you know, if you're going to focus very much on the past or what somebody else is doing, or even try to cheat your way through the ascension process, not exactly like dealing with things, it's all got to be, I think it's got to be confronted, this Mercury retrograde with the Venus retrograde also. There is this confrontation energy where you really have to look at what's going on right now and being present with what you're feeling right now and how much healing there is to be done. And I say that because I feel like that vibe draws in conflict energy. And this is juvenile, it's pointless, it's unnecessary, and it's almost as if you've got to kind of look at what it is that's happening around you that's contributing to your inner turmoil or your inner conflict, and how it is that you can really resolve all of that by just being very present in the moment and paying attention to, you know, just you, your betterment, your well-being. This is the Cancer full moon for me, and I say that because that's the King of Cups right next to it. There's a lot of study and research that's done on the self here, right? If we're to combine these energies, there's a lot of self-restraint, a lot of emotional intelligence, a lot of filling up that cup, knowing what you have in order to be able to offer something of substance and quality. And that comes with a lot of self-reflection and a lot of self-study. And I think the emotional intelligence part of this is you studying what actually brings you real bliss, what actually brings you real joy, as opposed to what is just blissful and lustful and in the moment and not really with much longevity, and kind of balance the both, find a happy medium where you're actually fully engaging in emotional intelligence. Now remember, this guy has one foot in the ocean, like those ravaging waves. They never stop moving. And he's built his throne on the ups and downs of life, meaning he's mastered being able to just kind of be calm and be still and be cool and collected even through the rough bits. And I guess mid-January is absolutely preparing you and asking you with this Cancer full moon, which is the 16th and the 17th of January, to make some sort of emotional resolve to things that you know that you can actually like clear up and finish up, emotionally speaking, now. And I like that energy because the Cancer full moon is very much about wrapping up old emotional cycles. You know, as we approach the new astrological year, we end the astrological year on the Virgo full moon. And by that time, there would have been a lesson completed. By the time that comes up, it will probably be the Ten of Swords as opposed to the Nine. So you've got this period of winter, of natural decay, where you are freeing yourself up, your energetic reserves from conflict, where you've been distracted, where your attention should actually be on resolving things that keep you away from your true potential. So there's a lot of study here that can be done about your temperament, how you view yourself. And there is this Five of Cups here. A much needed shift in perspective, a need to maybe have a moment, this Cancer full moon and this Mercury retrograde and this Venus retrograde, to really have your moment to just cry over the spilt milk. And once you know there's no more tears left, to perhaps take a turn around, you know, and see what's still going for you. And I think you'll figure out what you still got going for you will lead you exactly where you want to be. Right? There's a need for you to address this feeling of loss. And it's never as simple as, right, I'm just going to turn around and ignore everything and just move on with my life. Like, if you can do that, that is more power to you, man. But the human responses are sometimes requiring a little bit more attention. And if you find that you are hung up on a particular loss, take a minute with it, you know? Naturally allow yourself to release and surrender it, this Mercury retrograde, this Venus retrograde. Because I feel like that Nine of Cups, it's really going to lead. I love this. Do you know what? Healing is so beautiful. Because this in 2 cards is exactly what healing is. It's taking a minute, addressing a problem, feeling it out, knowing that there is more to it, and perhaps proceeding in the direction of filling the cups and attaining even the ones that you had lost. He sits at the center of this. That's all his own work. Do you know what I mean? And he is feeling pretty smug about himself. Rocking his hat and his robe. Just sat there like, yo, I'm fantastic. I can conquer anything. If I put my attention and my heart to it, if I can energetically be present with my visualization, so I am feeling my way into contentment. And a lot of this is reconnection with the self, reconnecting with the ego, reconnecting with your inner child even. And I promise you, Capricorn season, getting to the top of the hill, it's very action oriented. And being productive and proactive about things that feel like you're filling your cups up will get you into energetic resonance. And it won't be long before things are making sense on a much grander scale. It is about the emotional intelligence, but it's also about seeing where you can clear up conflict energy in your life and push forward in a direction where you feel good about yourself regardless of what kind of chaos is going on around you. And the shenanigans are all kind of little juvenile delinquents. Please, Virgo. 12:12 on the clock when I said that. Free yourself up, King. No, Knight. You have very fast-paced movement, and it is very intentional, and it is very productive energy of getting where you need to be. It's mercurial energy, even regardless of Mercury retrograde. You are very much charged and going forward. There is a need for you to take a pause when it comes to romantic relationships. I just feel like you working on your own energy as opposed to trying to push very much this top row of conflict and chaos energy into, unions. I feel like it's about the inner work right now. And it's no longer an option to avoid it and distract yourself with things like, oh, I want a relationship, or I want someone to love me, to make me feel better about the internal pain that I should be working towards healing myself. You know what I mean? You're really headed towards a victorious conclusion to mid-January, and you're gonna have to be pretty committed to your discernment and being able to recognize the wins. Being able to recognize where your energy needs to go and how it really needs to be focused on you pulling yourself out of any sort of feelings of like insecurity or doubting yourself. Conflict can throw you off because you're sensitive. You're a mutable earth, right? That is sensitive. And the beauty of that is that you feel things on such a vast level. And there is so much that can be experienced because of that feeling. Just make sure that you are keeping it high vibration and keeping it true to you. January does offer, amongst all of the healing and all of the self-recognition and coming through as this high priestess who will be victorious. You know, very content with the self and quite discerning. There's fun here. There's getting together with your people, there's celebrating, and there is energy of lightheartedness. And so I do say to you, get around your people. Diffuse a lot of this top shelf kind of conflict, healing from and fears of being cheated or doubtful, you know. Cleanse all of that by being in an environment where you can be lighthearted and it's not so serious and you're around like-minded energy and it's fun to laugh. Actively engage in laughing this season as much as possible because it is healing energy. I mean, come on. Ace of Pentacles, Virgo. Where your attention is where the energy is going to flow. Get your mind right. Start believing in yourself again. And there's a lot of money here. A lot of fortune. A lot of abundance. This might as well be your energy, the Ace of Pentacles, throughout January 2022. Believing in your abundance. Believing in your birthright of the inheritor of this Ace of Pentacles. Doing right. Being recognized by the universe as a key player. Get in receiving mode, Virgo. The trials, the tribulations, the hard stuff, all of that kind of stuff has been worth it because it makes you stronger. And I do feel like mid-January is going to toughen you up a little bit, and do rest it out when you really need a chance, when you take a chance, when you get a chance. You're going to be doing a lot of self-work. And the self-work leads you to a comfortable victory. Your discernment is going to be key to a lot of this because it pays out. Unions and coming together with people that make you feel safe. Throughout this Venus retrograde and this Mercury retrograde, there is a strong union that's being created. One that is going to last a very long time. It's about respecting each other, each other's wants and needs, and accepting that ultimately this is a reflection of you and what you wish for is important to this person. Knowing that this person will be there might be important to you, so focus on the longevity, I think, more than the instant gratification. I'm going to take one more card. Mid-January, Virgo, Ace of Cups. Hello. Listen, you always find a solution. You always win. There's nothing you can't handle. There's no mountain too big for you, Virgo. Emotional contentment, cups running over, and a lot of financial freedom. The freedom and financial bliss to come and go as you wish, do what you want, invest in the things you want to invest in. Money's not an issue. It's everywhere. Life is so abundant. We're so blessed. Virgo, this is mid-January. Ace of Cups, Ace of Pentacles. Claim it. Leave me a comment. 1919 on the clock. I think that's all I have for you. To book a reading, Rubyreadstarot.com. You get an additional 15 minutes because I like a good chat. I love you guys. Take it easy. See you soon. Bye.